Hi guys, welcome to Charity's Bubble USA, your #1 channel. I'm here. I'm going to work. It's 6:17. I'm kind of a little bit late because I normally leave my house at 6, but I'll still make it on time. The goal is to make it to work on time. I hope you're doing fine. I am doing very well. I want to thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I want to thank my new subscribers, my older subscribers, and everyone who has not subscribed. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is Charity Nganga, and this is Charity's Bubble USA, your #1 channel. Now, I know you guys have still been filling your DV lottery. One person asked me if they were 70 years old, they could fill the DV lottery. And what I know is that the DV lottery doesn't have an age limit. But when you're 70 years old, the only thing I can say, or that can be a challenge, if you're 70 years old and you're very fit, and you win the DV lottery, then the better for you. But if you're 70 years old and you cannot be able to run, because when you come here in the US, you have to be on your feet. The first few months are gonna be very slow, very slow, because that's when you're getting your papers. That's when you're getting accustomed to the roads to drive. That's when you're trying to get a new job to start your new life. That's when you're living in another person's house and maybe you're not comfortable or whatever. You know, when you are used to your freedom, you're not going to be 100% comfortable if you're living in another person's house. No matter how hard they helped, they try to be there for you. There will always be something missing. So that's where you will be. But when you come in and you're 70, then you get into the workforce. Because you're going to have to work, do a job whereby you can be able to pay your bills and you can be able to be independent. I'm not saying that a 70-year-old cannot be independent. But when you look at the ages that we have, you find that now here, when you have a baby, you have to take them to a wellness check every year. Every year they have to go and see the doctor. Even if they are not sick, they have to go and see the doctor. So when they go to see the doctor, you're given a little piece of paper that talks about growth. At that age, what is the child doing? At that age, what's going on in the life of that person? And I believe as we age, different things change. You know, different things change. Our body reacts differently, and so many things change. And you find that it's good to be ambitious. I'm not saying that you don't apply the DV lottery when you're 70, and there is no limit or age limit to apply the DV lottery. But you as an individual, how ambitious are you gonna be when you come to the US? Because what I know and what I have read about is that by the age of 65 to 70, we call them senior citizens. And you find that that's when your mind wants to rest. That's when your mind wants to utilize what you had or what you had worked for earlier in your life. So that's you can fill out the DV lottery, but it's a decision that you have to make. When you come to the US, are you able to run the marathon? Because you have to run the marathon, guys, when you come to live in the US. Because at first, even if you are a doctor in the US, in Africa, or even if you are whatever you are, when you come here, you're not gonna do the same work that you are doing. Believe me, you will not. You're gonna start low, very low. I'm telling you, you're gonna get a job and then you'll be like, oh my gosh, this was not my expectation, because you're starting. And then with time, you're gonna advance depending on how proactive you're gonna be. You're gonna advance. So you can fill out your DV lottery at 70 years old, but when you are coming here, you have to know that this is a fast life, guys. It's a very fast life. Like right now, I'm going to work, and I didn't go to work yesterday, but there were several things that I was doing. Actually, I didn't go to bed until 1. So that means I've slept 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. 5 p.m. I woke up, so that's 4 hours. And I have to keep myself awake for 12 hours before I go back home. And then when I go back home, I don't just go and not do something. Maybe I'll do a little bit of stuff, and then maybe I'll end up going to bed at 10 or 11. So as a 70 years old, you can do it yourself. Are you up to it to be able to do the fast life? You can do it well and good. So I hope that's clear. So there is no age limit, but when you win the DV lottery, just know that there are some things that you have to consider, because this is a very, 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 very fast life, guys. Oh my gosh, I am telling you, it's a fast life. It's sometimes you'll have to work 2 jobs to make the ends meet, especially if you're not able to go to school. And you find that when you come as 70-year-old, of course your kids are adults, you're not able to come over with them. Because when someone is 18, and that brings another question that someone was asking, that their kids are already adults, if they can include them in the DV lottery. You cannot. If they're 18 years old, they are adults, you cannot include them. I said if they are 17 and below, you can, but if they have reached 18, you cannot apply for them. So you can do that, guys. And when you come in, I want you to yes, coming to America, life of milk and honey, life where people get money from the trees, you know, all that myths, all those myths. But believe me, when you come to the ground is when you know that you cannot be naive, that your expectations are gonna be very high, but you gotta calm down, guys, so that you are able to survive. You are able to start. Starting is very hard. I'm telling you, when we came in, at first we were supposed to go to California, and let me tell you, when we were coming to the US, we never thought that there was something like trees here or farms or whatever. We thought that we were going to a place like New York City, you know what I mean? Like we were shocked before we landed in Wichita, because you know, like Wichita is in, you know, it's like, I would say it's in like the rural areas, not necessarily like the way you think of a village, but it's not like New York City. I'm not gonna tell you that it's like New York City. So we saw trees like were lined up, and then my husband was like, oh, is this America really? Then we were like, maybe let's go and see what's there. So our expectations were, you know, they were different. But I do remember when we came in and we were hosted by our host, we had, first of all, both of us, and I think that's what has made us being married for so many years, is because we decide, and what we do, we decide and we do it together. Like we just do it together. We don't have like this one wants this and this one wants this. No, if there is, if you have to start life, that's what we are doing, and that's it. And we focus on one thing. So our focus at that time was our kids and being independent. So I do remember the first job that my husband got was $8 an hour. And that job of $8 an hour, he would go in at 2, I think, yeah, at 2, and then he would work up to midnight, and then they would have him clock out from midnight to 6, and then at 6 he would clock in, and then he would work up to 9 a.m. because he had to take those people to the daycare center. And then after that, he would, because some of those people that he was taking care of, they need to go maybe for shopping. Some of them need to be taken to the park. Some of them just need to be taken for a ride. He would take up that job of taking them for a ride instead of coming home, and then he would go back to work. So he worked throughout. He worked throughout, and it was a good job because it was called a living job, whereby he would have to clock out and sleep a little bit before he would go to the day work. And sometimes he would not clock out because maybe the patient or the people that he was watching were very sick, or they were having some trouble. So at that point, you don't clock out. You have to stay with them and watch them. So it wasn't easy, guys. And I do remember the apartment that we rent. He got a job. He got paid the first. After like 1 week, the money wasn't enough, and then the other week he got paid. We had decided that we were gonna move out. So we got an apartment. That one we got, and our host was kind enough to sign the lease with us because we didn't have any credit history. And then when we moved out, we only had one little dining table that had 3 chairs. Actually, my husband, and I've talked about this story, he would sit on the stairs when we were eating dinner. He would let me and Eric and Christine sit on the dining table. I do remember that there used to be, there is canned food. The canned food, I don't know if you guys are familiar with canned food. Is that food that is put in a can and it's long lasting. So sometimes we would have canned beans and they would taste like very weird. And I do remember we would wash them. We would really wash them so that taste, they have a lot of sodium and they have a lot of preservatives. So they have like a kind of a different taste that we were not used to. So we would wash them and wash them and wash them, and then we would eat them. Both of us, I do remember Francis telling me we have to eat so that these children eat. And when we moved out to our apartment, we went to a store. We bought 3 sufurias. Each was like $5, and then we bought 4 plastic plates. We bought 4 spoons, and we bought 4 cups, and that was it, guys. That's how we started our life. It was so simple. And we were fine, guys. We were very, 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 very fine. And God has blessed us. I'm telling you, God has blessed us. And we are where we are right now because we have always worked together. So when you come, guys, please forget about the life that you are living wherever you are. Because if I don't prepare you when you're coming here to the US, then I am not helping you by telling you to fill out the DV lottery, because you'll be coming here expecting that everything is easy. No, it's not easy. When you're starting, it's hard. It is so hard, and especially you're very new, there is no history. So even a job, you have to have a referral. For you to get a job very fast, a referral is gonna play. I'm not saying that you can't walk in and not get a job. Yes, you can. But if you have a referral, you start a greater chance of getting that job very fast. So what am I saying? I'm saying that the first 6 months of your life when you come into the US, they are going to be nerve-wracking. You're going to be scratching your head. You're going to be wondering if you did the right thing. But you're going to be patient with yourself, guys. Things here go very slowly. Because if you go to apply for a driver's license, it's not going to come out like immediately. It takes 7 to 10 business days for them to send you the plastic ID, and it comes by mail. But as soon as you get that, the things get rolling. But if you have a social and you have that little paper that they give you when you go to apply for the driver's license, you can apply for a job. But here in some of the states, I'm not saying that all of them, some of them, they won't let you do a driver's test until you get that plastic thing. So you gotta give yourself time to breathe and time to start from zero. With family. Being even hosted by people you don't know. You gotta give yourself a break, because you do not want to get into depression, because you're starting and you're like, oh, this is what I expected, oh, this is not working right. Oh no, you have to adapt, guys. When you come in, you must adapt. You must I don't know how I can put this. You must it's like walking, it's like climbing the stairs. If you start climbing the stairs, maybe you have to climb up to the 12th floor. Let's assume that that's what you have to do. The first stairs are very hard because your body and your heart is not accustomed. You get very tired on the first couple of stairs. But you find that as you go, by the time you are reaching the center, your body is adapting. And by the time you reach on top of the floor, you're fine. Yes, you will be tired, but it's not going to be like the way your heart was beating and you are almost giving up down there, because you are starting. The start is hard, guys. It's not easy. It's not going to be a walk in the park. And that is where, if you come with a spouse, It's time to hold each other's hands and tell each other that everything is going to be okay. And any job that you get, dive into it and do it. Because you're looking for history. History is very important, guys. It's very, 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 very important for you to start having that history. Because history, when employers go to hire you, they look at how long have you done this, how long have you done this, how long have you done this. If there is a course that can be done, and you know that if you do that course, you can be working overtime, do it. You know what I mean? Just do it. You cannot afford to choose. Pick and choose sometimes. Unless you have like 10 offers on the table, maybe 5 offers or 2 offers, then you can choose. But you have to embrace what is coming. You know, you have to, guys. And that's what we did. I normally like to tell you our experience. What did we do? How did we, me and Francis, I'm telling you, what we say is what goes. We sit down, we decide this is what we are doing, and that's it. And that's what we are gonna do. And we support each other. So if as a couple, if you're a couple, you have to like hold hands and say, there is what it is, but we will make it. But don't come to the US expecting that everything is gonna be like, because you went in, you know, the moment you are admitted at that port of entry, your life changes, guys. And it's gonna take up to 6 months to a year before you are even closer to where you are. You have to know that, people, especially the people who are coming into the US. You have to know that. It might seem like it's harsh or whatever, but that's the reality of it. You have to know that you're going to start from zero. And that zero is not going to be easy. I'm telling you, even language, even speaking, when we are coming from Africa, these people don't understand our English. We don't even understand them either. We don't. I'm telling you, we do not. Because you'll just be hearing someone is talking and then you're like, what are they talking about? But with time, you will get it. I do remember we went to open a bank account. The first time we went to open a bank account, we went with our host. We weren't even understanding what that guy was telling us. Because for me, he was speaking so fast. So it took time for me to understand the American English. At the same time, it takes time for them to understand. Even they don't understand you well, because even when you tell them to pronounce your name, they will butcher it. They won't be able even to pronounce your name. But what am I saying here? I'm saying that you got to know that this is change. And change, you will feel it. Change even will be felt even by your children. But you're going to accept what comes your way at that moment. Because it gets easy. The moment you get a job, it gets easy. The moment you rent your own apartment, even if you start with nothing, or you're sleeping on the floor, it gets easy, guys. It does. You do that work, maybe 6 months down the line, you get another job. You still continue. You can even work 2 jobs. As Africans, we have to work 2 jobs. The other job is a plan B. I always call my other job a plan B, because if anything went wrong here, then I would have something else to rely on. I wouldn't have to stay for 2 weeks without a paycheck. You know what I mean? So that's what people do here. But when you're coming in, that's at the expectation. You must expect that. And I hope that you're still filling out the DV lottery. I am not talking so much about the DV lottery. I tell you, I look at the data. I look at the videos, how they are going. And if I see that they are not going well, I don't do them. Because I have done those videos about the DV lottery. So even the questions that you guys are asking me about age, about marriage, about whatever, if I will be answering the ones that are there, but I don't want to repeat like the whole thing, because like I said, YouTube doesn't like you repeating so many videos. It doesn't pick on them, you know. Even if you do them, it doesn't pick. So they don't do very well. It's not that they don't have good information, it's only that you're repeating yourself. So if you need to know anything about the DV lottery, go back to my website. There is a lot of videos that I've done there, extensive videos about the DV lottery. And if there is something that I haven't talked about, guys, I am free to talk about it. I'm free to talk about it. So guys, I needed to tell you that when you come in, know that you're starting from zero, guys. It's zero. And then with time, you take baby steps, you learn things, you get that culture shock that's gonna hit you so hard that you won't even believe it. And it's always good to ask. Ask for help. Africans, we are so bad in asking for help. We were not taught how to do that. As asking for help, and maybe someone thinks that you're stupid. No, ask. Because this is a very new environment, guys. It's so new that you might think that you know, but you don't know. I'm telling you. Because things are done very differently here. Very differently. So if you feel like there's someone that you can trust, ask them. You really do not have to do what they're telling you, but at least you gain some knowledge. You know, you can deduce some good things, and there's the bad things, you don't do them. And actually, asking you learn. A good student always asks questions. Because if you don't ask, this is the place whereby if you don't ask a question, people don't volunteer. Like me, if you don't ask anything, I'm not gonna volunteer anything. Even if I know, I'll just be quiet. Because I don't know if you need to know, but if you ask, then I will do all my best so that I can help. So guys, when you're coming here, that is what I want you to know. Capish? You must know that. It's important for you to know that. Lower your expectations. The first few months are gonna be rough. They are not gonna be easy. But then with time, you're gonna be okay. Because God blessed us to be very hard workers. When we are hired in a job, we don't call in all the time. That's one thing that we have. We do not call in all the time. We do our work. And we excel because God blessed us and brought us to excel. And so that our kids could have a better life. So guys, I hope this video is going to help someone. Thank you. It's 6:40. I have to be at work at least by 6:55. That will give me enough time to walk to my work. I'll see you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you and God bless you.